This week we are in California. 12 drivers are currently in the showdown, but only 9 will remain after this race. Who will be eliminated? Stick around to find out. Well, good evening and welcome to the Racer League. I am your host, Nathaniel Scott. Fresh news this week. Due to the success of the Dark County Racing, they have agreed and decided to split that team with co-owner Jake Banks. He has agreed to come alongside and take the number 84 of Kaylee Banks and start a new team in conjunction with the Dark County Racing called the Banks Automotive Racing Team, and they have decided to raise the bar next season. So they will be ones to watch out for as they join the Racer League next season. Well, last week was the first race of the showdown. 3 drivers were eliminated. The number 72 of Michael Rector, the number 92 of Kim Jackson, and the number 48 of Madison Grace were eliminated. This week, 3 more drivers will be eliminated. Drivers that are on that bubble are the number 9 of Denise Rector, the 41 of Aaron Nelson, and the number 57 of Scott Rector. These drivers will definitely have to make their mark in today's race if they want to continue in the showdown. Let's get ready and go to our pick'ems for this week. Ernie, buddy, who do you got picked to win this race?
Well, thanks, Nathaniel. I'm going to go with the number 47 of John Jackson. He rolls off 8th today and sits 2nd in points. How about you, Sue?
Well, I'm going to go with the leader in points, Christy Rector. She qualifies 4th, and I believe she's going to do quite well today. Dwight?
Well, hey, yeah, I'm going to go with the number 72 of Michael Rector. I know he got eliminated last week, but he needs this win to get himself back in to the championship race. He starts in 6th position today, y'all. Nathaniel, who's you pick to win?
Well, guys, my pick this week is actually going to be the number 9 of Denise Rector. Denise will start 3rd this week. Speaking of qualifying position, let's go over qualifying results, shall we? Starting first in today's race is the number 39 of Tim Taylor. In 2nd, we have the number 85 of Christopher Bailey. In 3rd, the number 9 of Denise Rector. Starting 4th is the number 17 of Christy Rector, who has been very consistent so far this season. In 5th, the number 49 of Rod Ellison. In 6th, we have the number 72 of Michael Rector. 7th, the number 2 of Bryson Birchfield. In 8th, the aggressive driving of the number 47, John Jackson. In 9th, we have the number 8 car rookie, Mason Cecil. And rounding out the top 10 is the number 83 of Renee Rector. Some notable mentions, though, for those drivers that are on the bubble. Aaron Nelson will start 23rd, and Scott Rector will start all the way back in 28th position. Those 2 drivers have a lot of ground to make up if they plan to stay inside the Auto Racing National Ultimate Showdown. Well, it sounds like the drivers have been called to their cars, so I'm going to go ahead and send it up to Dwight and Sue, our in-booth commentators, and I will see you after the race.
Well, thanks, Nathaniel, for that welcome. My name is Sue Llewellyn, and I'm here with my counterpart, Mr. Dwight Flanders.
Well, hey, y'all. It's so nice to be back here with y'all again this week here in California. There's Sue. What do you think about this place out here?
It is bright and shiny.
It is.
Sunshiny.
I like it out here. It's really nice.
Really nice, really warm. And the cars are going really fast.
They are, Sue. How fast do they get today?
They're going to get over 260 miles an hour.
Wow. That's going to be really fast.
It sure is.
A lot of fast driving, but this looks like a wider track than some of the other ones we've been to.
It is. They can go up to 4 wide at this track.
Those turns are really, really wide, so it'll be nice to see what they can do.
Sure is. And here we got some new people up at the front. We got the 39, the Tim Taylor. He's on the pole today.
It's nice to see him up there. He's not had the best of finishes. He's averaging a 20th place finish, but it's nice to see him up at the front.
It sure is. A couple of our other Showdown drivers did not qualify very well. It was the number 57 of Scott Rector.
He's all the way back there with his teammate, the number 84 of Kaylee Banks. But, you know, next season that won't be. They won't be teammates.
That's correct.
The announcement came out this week. But, well, Sue, the pace car is down in pit road. Here come the drivers down the front stretch. We forgot green flag, and we're going racing. Oh, heavens to Betsy there, Sue. They're already 4 wide.
They sure are. And doesn't look like that Tim Taylor got a good start.
He did not there, Sue. He is falling back. Those drivers are just going to eat him up and spit him out.
They sure are. We got quite a bit of Showdown drivers up front, all vying for positions.
Number 9 of Denise Rector, she looks like she took out the front right there. Starting in first place, or
sure
coming out
did.
in first.
Here we're already under caution.
Oh, heavens to Betsy.
So we're racing back to the line.
See if she can hold on to it there from that Rod Ellison in that 49 car.
He's
They're
trying.
going to fight for it. They're going to fight. Oh, she got it. She's going to need those points for that showdown. She is right there on the bubble.
She sure is. Here's a replay of what happened. We got the Kaylee Banks back here with Kim Jackson.
Some more of those showdown drivers. Oh, heavens to Betsy. See, that number 92 went round and around.
She sure did. Looks
Don't
like
look
she
like
gathered
hit
it up.
anything.
No.
Yeah, it looks like everybody made it out all right.
We also had another incident here as they're racing to the line.
Oh, that 2 car, Bryson Birchfield. Oh, mercy. That 39 car got stuck in the wall.
He sure did. That was a hard hit.
I hope he's all right. We'll have to check in with Ernie here later and see if he's all right.
We will. Speaking of Ernie, it looks like we got few cars that are going to come down the pit road, including the number 49 of Rod Ellison from second place.
That's crazy there, Stu. Well, Ernie, you got us down there. What's going on, buddy?
Well, hey, guys. Well, the 49 wanted to try to bring some other drivers with them, but nobody else took the bait. But they do want to make a few adjustments on their car, so the 49's going to take 4 tires and be out. Also, the 84 car of Kaylee Banks is going to take 4 tires, and she'll be on her way out. And the number 21 car was slightly involved there, but they want to make a few adjustments since they're already in the back, and some of these other drivers are just making some, strategies for the race.
Well, thanks, Ernie. As they finish up their pit stops, we'll let them get lined back up. We're going to take our first break. When we come back, we'll give you a rundown of where everybody sits.
Can't wait.
You're watching the Rectified Automotive Circuit Entertainment Racing League. Hey, you're watching the Racer League, and I'm Frank. Like, earlier today, I was at the bank, and this old lady asked me to help her check her balance, so I pushed her over.
Welcome back to the Racer League. My name is Sue Llewellyn. How do you do? And I'm here with my counterpart, Mr. Dwight Flanders.
Well, hey, y'all. It's nice to be back again. Interesting race so far there, Stu, with that accident there on the first lap.
It was 2 accidents.
2 accidents, that's right. Racing back to the line. That number 2 car pushing that 39 out of the way and hitting that number 17. But I do see she's still back out there on the track. So it's nice that she'll still be out there.
It is. You know, that team they've rebounded quite a bit in several races throughout this season.
She has. That 17 car has been very consistent. I mean, She finished second last week there, Sue.
She did.
So,
She did.
interesting.
Right now, we got that number 9, a Denise Rector, leading the race. Followed by in second, the 85 of Christopher Bailey. In third, we got Bryson Birchfield, another Showdown driver.
That's right.
In fourth, we got the 72 of Michael Rector. He was eliminated last week.
But he's my pick to win to get back in the championship race.
And in fifth, we got the 83 of Renee Rector.
In sixth, look at there, Sue. We got the number 33 of Laura Ellison. Ain't that nice?
It is.
In seventh, we've got the number 52 of Eric Rector. In eighth, we've got the number 8, oh my favorites, of Mason Cecil. Ninth, the number 32 of Eddie Phillips. And right behind that, his teammate, the number 95 of Carl Phillips. But pace car is out, Sue. You know what that means.
I know what that means.
We're going racing.
Here
Number
we
9
go.
car, she's got a good jump there, Sue.
She did.
That number 2 car tried to get a good jump too, but I don't think he got it.
He didn't, but that 72, he got a
sure
good start.
did there, Sue. He is trying to race himself back into this championship.
He's
got a
definitely
lot on
driving
his
that way.
shoulders. Yeah, yes.
In fact, he's challenging for the lead right
Oh,
now.
heavens there, Sue. I think he might try to get it. Oh, nope, he didn't get it.
He didn't quite get that run. The 9 was able to shut the door.
She was. Well, these are her kind of tracks, too. These big, large ovals like this. I mean, she won the first week there at Coca-Cola. This one doesn't have the banking of Coca-Cola, but it's got the speed.
That's correct. That is. They go quite fast. They top almost 265 miles an hour.
Coming down that back stretch right there, right, Sue?
That's correct. And here we got some of the drivers involved in the last caution.
Trying to make their ways back up there, Sue.
That 84, Kaylee Banks, she spun the 92.
She did. Now she's right there riding with the number 47 aggressive driving of John Jackson. So see how aggressive she really tries to be around him, because we know he does not play around.
He does not. In fact, there goes that 17 of Christy Rector.
There she is bouncing back up there, Sue. She only had a little small accident into the wall, so hopefully they were able to fix it all up, get everything back in order.
Hopefully, she was my pick to win.
She was there, Sue. She was.
There's that 49 of Rod Ellison.
He's making his way back up there. I don't think they've made the right adjustments on his car, because he is not moving up there like that 17 car is.
He sure isn't.
Must have gotten a bad set of tires.
Something. There's the 21 of Jeremy Nelson.
Yeah. He started 22nd today, and he is third in points currently right now.
He's got quite a bit of a buffer there
He does.
between that and the bubble.
Now he finished 6th last week, so that helped get him some of those points to get him up there third in points.
Sure. Hopefully he can get that turned around and get himself a good finish this week.
He's gonna need it, Sue. He's gonna need it, because this showdown will just spit drivers out.
Oh, it
just
sure
quickly
will.
And without even warning you.
Every race, 3 drivers will be eliminated. The lowest point standings of the 3 drivers in the showdown will be eliminated.
Yeah. So you got to race your way in and be consistent. Talking about consistent, there's that number 57 of Scott Rector. Now, he started back there in 28th, and he's working himself all the way up into the top 10 almost right now there, Sue.
Sure is. In fact,
Trying to.
He's one of our 2 race winners this season.
He is, Sue. He was one of those there that, one of the only 2 drivers, him and that number 17 car. Now, Scott does sit on that bubble there, Sue.
He is. He didn't
Currently
have a
right-
good finish last week.
He did not, Sue. He finished 22nd last week. So he really needs to beef up his numbers
He sure does.
this week or get a win so he can continue in the showdown.
I guess you could say he needs to catch up.
Yeah.
And here we got the number 2 of Bryson Birchfield.
Yes. He is in the showdown also there, Sue.
He's also there in the top 10 right now.
Yeah, he sits 5th in the showdown point-wise. Last week, he finished in the top 10, finished in 10th. So
Well, that was a good finish to get him some points there above the bubble.
That is. He's definitely sitting quite nice up there. A good top 10 will help secure him for next week.
Sure.
Get him another pass into the showdown, but he will have to bump up those numbers too if he wants to continue.
Another driver that's just ahead of him is that 32 Eddie Phillips.
Oh, yes.
He's another showdown driver. He got in on the last race with a win.
He did there, Sue. Last week he finished 12th there, and he also sits in the 6th place in points right now in the showdown.
Well, it looks like they got things sorted out for now. Number 9's got almost a second lead over second place. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, even though we already kind of have, but we're going to go in depth and do a showdown rundown when we come back.
You're watching the Racer League on YOD, your own device. Hey, you're watching the Racer League, and I'm Frank the Talking Wiener. And I just want you to subscribe or ring the bell for us.
Well, hey y'all, welcome back to the Racer League. My name is Dwight, and I hope you're doing alright. And I'm here with Sue.
How do you do?
I think we're doing alright there, Sue. That number 9 car, she sure is there, Sue. And we're going to do this segment now called the Showdown Rundown. This part, we're going to talk about the drivers that are on the bubble for this elimination. First, we've got that number 9 car, Denise Rector. She does sit 18 points outside of the cutoff currently, but a win here could guarantee her a spot into the championship race there, Sue.
It sure could. One showdown driver that's not doing so well is the number 41 of Erin Nelson. She started 23rd and is currently just in 24th position now. She is 15 points behind the cutoff line to advance to the next round. Last week she finished 25th. That was at Richmond, so that put her in the danger zone where she is sitting currently.
Yes, there's Sue. Now, she had her win there at Laguna Seca. They got her in the showdown, but I mean, the week before that, she only had a 23rd place finish there, Sue. So she definitely needs to step up her game here if she wants to continue inside the showdown.
She sure does.
She's got a lot of work ahead of her, but there's still a lot of racing left to go there, Sue. We're only almost halfway.
There is, but she's definitely got to pick up her game, make some pit stop adjustments or something.
Something's got to give. Well, then we've got the number 57 of Scott Rector. He was one of the 2 drivers that had 2 wins in the regular season.
That's correct.
And he actually is sitting further down, though, with those 2 wins. He did not have a good win race last week. He finished 22nd place. That's what put him down there so far down inside the showdown in points. That 22nd place finish did not help him at all. He currently sits 12th, though. He's just outside the top 10 with that number 47 car right behind him there, Sue. So that number 57 car is looking okay now, but he definitely has to get inside that top 10 if he wants to try to make that cutoff. He sits 12 points outside of that cutoff.
Here we got his teammate, the number 64 of Katie Harsparter. She's currently running 7th after starting 12th, so she's worked her way up there. Right now, she came into this race on the line. She is just at the line of the cutoff, so she would advance coming in. Last week, she finished 19th. Started this season pretty consistent in the top 10 finishes, but she has had no top 10s in the last 5 races.
She has not there, Sue, but she definitely needs a good finish here also to try to maintain herself inside the showdown, because there's a lot of other drivers there on that bubble that are doing pretty alright. Then we've got the number 49 of Rod Ellison. Now, he had that week there at Texas. He got the win, secured him into the showdown there, Sue. He currently sits 28th. He is not doing good at all. And he is actually tied in points with that KD Harshbarger there. He is tied currently with her for that cutoff. But finishing this low in the race with Denise up there in first place, he might find himself on that cutoff there, Sue, for the showdown, which would not be good for that team because they did have some good runs there at the beginning of the season.
And the beginning of this race.
And the beginning of this race, that's right. That early pit stop may have cost him his spot inside the showdown later on.
Here we got the 13, Nathan Rector. He's currently running 16th. And he is 6 points ahead of the cutoff line right now. He did get a win, which qualified him for the showdown. And he started back in 16th. So he's pretty much stayed even keel all race.
He has. That will help also to kind of secure him further into the showdown. But that's another driver there that also needs to step it up, because he had 3 races where he has not been inside the top 10. So they need to step up their game there, Sue, to make sure that they can continue also in the showdown. Now his teammate, the number 9, is running in first, and his other teammate there, Bryson Birchfield, was doing pretty good there too.
He was up there earlier in the race. So that whole team is doing quite well.
They are, Sue. Only one driver of that team didn't make it into the showdown, and that number 4, Tommy Ray. Well, then we got the number 32 of Eddie Phillips. Now, Eddie sits way up there for the showdown. He sits 24 points above the cutoff line.
That's quite a buffer.
That is an amazing buffer. Last week, he finished 12th. The week before that, he got his first win, which locked him into the showdown, and then a second place finish there. Very consistent team here as of late to get themselves up in and consistently in the showdown. He currently, though, sits 8th, so he is also inside the top 10 again. This week there, Sue. So this 32 team might be the underdog but of the showdown, because they only have the one driver inside the showdown here.
Sure.
But I believe this team here might be the one to watch for the end of the showdown.
Well, they could be. He has kind of snuck himself in to the showdown. Now, there were other showdown drivers that we did not talk about. The number 17 of Christy Rector, the 47 of John Jackson, and the number 21 of Jeremy Nelson. They're sitting first, second, and third in points right now and have pretty much got a really good buffer. We talked about the ones right there on the bubble for this week.
That we did there, Sue. That Christy Rector, she sits up there on first. I mean, she is over 50 points ahead of the buffer line.
She sure is. So with that, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have more green flag racing.
You're watching the Racer League, and this break is brought to you by this joke. So, 3 guys walk into a bar, and
Welcome back to the Racer League. My name is Sue. How do you do? I'm here with my counterpart, Mr. Wyatt Flanders.
Well, hey, y'all. It's nice to be back again.
It sure is. Here we got the number 9, still leading that race.
She is there, Sue, but that number 72 car, Michael Rector, is catching up to her.
He sure is. He ate off. She went into break with a 1.5 lead. Now he's back just over a half a second.
That is determination there from that team there. After he got eliminated last week, they want themselves in. He needs that win to get himself back in.
He sure does. Here we're under caution. We're under 10 to go now. So they're going to race back to the line and bunch everybody back up.
See if he can try to eat off a little bit more there, Sue. Show some intimidation there on that number 9 car.
Sure.
So he can get himself back in. Like I said, he was my pick to win this week. Because of this fact that he needed to race himself back into the championship race.
And he got taken out. He didn't eliminate himself.
No, he did not.
He was caught up in that caution last week.
He was. But he is definitely the fan favorites to watch.
He was. He won our fan favorite poll on our Facebook page.
He did.
Well, it looks like that number 9 kept the lead.
She did.
Everybody's going to catch back up, and I'm pretty sure they're going to have some pit stops.
I would imagine there, Sue. We've gone about 35 laps for most of these cars. But what'll be interesting to see is if those drivers that pitted the first time, if they will have to pit now. You think they will?
I'd imagine they would, because they, like you said, 35 laps on tires. That'll make quite a bit of difference.
Going 200 and some miles an hour? I would say yes.
Now, if it happened shortly after, maybe not, but
that's true.
Here they come. Looks like they're all going to come down pit road, and that in the 72, he's ready to go down pit road.
He's ready there, Sue. I hope that team's ready in there for him. Well, I guess we should probably get ready and go to Ernie down there. Ernie, you got us down there, buddy?
Well, hey, y'all. I got y'all nice and clear. And the consensus on pit road is everybody's going to take 4 tires. They've gone, like you guys said, a long time on these tires so far. Everybody needs fresh ones and gas to get themselves to the end of the race. A few adjustments on some of the cars, though. That 72 car, he really likes the way it was running. So, not many adjustments, maybe a tire pressure adjustment for him. No adjustments for the number 9 car as she comes into the pits. And some small adjustments are going to be made on the 32 car. Try to get him further up in there so he can be in contention for these last 10 laps. Sue, Dwight, back up to you.
Well, thanks, Ernie. Here they come, boy. What a race off pit road there.
That was close there, Sue.
72. He almost got it there on pit road.
He almost did there, Sue. He is determined here. I tell you, he wants that race back in.
He sure does.
I mean, his teammate won last week.
That's correct. That's correct, Aunt Christy. Well, with that, as they get lined to back up, we're going to take our break. When we come back, we'll be green flag racing once again, and we'll run through the top 10.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, all right. That's it. Run. Really? Yeah, run. Run, you're live.
Welcome back to the Rectified Automotive Circuit Entertainment Racing League. My name is Sue. How do you do? And I'm here with my counterpart, Mr. Dwight Flanders.
Well, hey, y'all. It's nice to be back here again with you again. Or again.
Again. Well, here we got, looks like the number 6 out in front, but he's actually a few laps down. He did not pit, so he gets to stay out front. But leading the race still is that number 9, Denise Rector.
She is. And then right behind that, we got the 72 of Michael Rector.
And behind her is in third, we got the 83 of Renee Rector. In fourth, we got the 52 of Eric Rector. And in fifth, that number 1 of Michael Scott.
He's hung on to that top 10 there. Almost all race there, Sue.
He sure has.
And then in 6th, we've got the 85 of Christopher Bailey. 7th, we've got that 17 of Christy Rector being more consistent each week. 8th, the number 64 of K.D. Harshbarger. 9th, the aggressive driving of the number 47, John Jackson. And in 10th, last week's winner, the number 91 of Aunt Christy.
Looks like they're all bunching back up. They're ready to get this race back to green.
They are there, Sue. See what kind of a run this number 72 car can get on the 9. Hopefully he can get out there in front and get himself back in.
It's really up to any of those drivers.
It is. It could be anybody, but we're green flag racing.
That's 72.
He's looking down there, Sue. He's looking down. See if that 6 car can get out of the way.
He didn't waste any time.
He did not there, Sue. He got the jump he needed.
Oh, here comes that 83.
She's fighting back there, too. She's one to get up there. See if that 72 car can get a little bit more aggressive and hold off that 83 car. I don't think it's going to do it.
I don't think so either. That 83,
see if he can
she
hold
got
on that
quite a
outside.
run.
He's got that lapped car down there to help him out. Hopefully he can slow her down a little bit to get her up there, or to get Michael Rector up there. I mean,
Sure, that was a close
that
line
was
there, but looks like that 83 Renee led that lap. She'll get the bonus point, but she's not in the showdown.
It's not going to help her, but that 72 is holding on the outside there, Sue. I think he might have it.
Yeah, he looks like he's got it now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Let's
Heavens
see.
to Betsy.
Is that 83 going to try to make another run?
I don't know there, Sue. That 72 is able to hold that bottom line down there. That 9 car, she sure is falling back there, Sue.
She is. She is. What? There she goes.
There they
She's
go
trying.
again, battling back and forth. She is not giving up there, Sue.
She sure isn't.
That lapped car's out of the way now, too, so neither driver has any help to hold off onto, or to try to pin the other driver behind.
Sure. Throw that block
That
on.
block move. That's right.
That 72 got quite a run on the
He
outside
did.
there.
He's running pretty well there on that high line.
He sure is. It's going to make it hard to pass him.
It is.
He's definitely pulling away
Heavens to
now.
Betsy. See if he can try to get a little bit further ahead and hold that bottom line.
Just 7 laps left.
I'm on
Can
the
he
edge of
hold
my
it?
seat there, Sue.
If he wins, he will guarantee a spot in the championship race.
That'll be great there, Sue, especially since he lost himself out of it.
Sure. And here we got the 41 of Aaron Nelson, the 49, and the 57 all kind of bunched together.
They are there, Sue. They're all on that edge of that cutoff there for the showdown right now.
They sure
See
are.
who's going to be eliminated.
They sure are. And with just a handful of laps left, they need to get their act together or they're not going to make it.
They're not going to make it at all there, Sue. That line is very strong and very stern to stay inside the showdown.
It sure is.
Only have 3 drivers eliminated each week. You've got to be on your A game every single week. Be ready for
There's a 9 and 85 getting into it a little bit.
it. It's bumping and running there a little bit there, Sue. But look at there. We've got that 84. Kaylee Banks.
And the 17 of Christy Rector.
All there inside the top 10. That aggressive driving of that 47's got himself all the way up there into the top 5.
Sure has.
I see him up there. I mean, he is second in points currently.
He is. He's looking to gain some ground on the 17, but the 17's not going to let him.
He's not there, Sue. That 9 has got to fight for some positions there, Sue. Or she's not going to make the cutoff either because she's already underneath the line for the cutoff this week. So all the positions she needs. I mean, she might get the bonus point for having the most laps led. She's been dominant all
Sure.
race.
She has.
But I don't know if that'll be enough to keep her in if she doesn't get a top 10.
We're going to have to hang on for the post-race show with Nathaniel Rector.
Nathaniel
Find out.
Scott.
Nathaniel Scott.
See who's going to be in.
Sure.
That Nathaniel Scott, he's going to break it all down for us after the race. So make sure you stay tuned.
Here's a 64, Katie Harsbarger. She's trying to work her way into the top 10.
She's just on the outside there, Sue. Looks like she's in 14th or 15th place there. Definitely needs a good, strong run here to maintain herself in the showdown. She's about halfway in the lineup there with that.
She is. And just ahead of her is the 13, of Nathan Rector.
That's right there, Sue.
I got him mixed up there.
Yes.
And there he is battling his teammate. Both showdown drivers.
Both of them there, Sue. And trying to get into the top 10 and stay in there so that he can also guarantee himself a spot there, Sue.
Sure. Worst comes to worst would both of them to be eliminated.
Oh, that would be awful there, Sue. So they got to watch their driving here. Make sure they don't take each other out.
They do. One slip up, and that could be the end of it.
You gone, but look at here, Sue. That Michael Rector, he has been strong all day long, running in second place right behind that Denise Rector. Look at him out there in that clean air, up there almost over a second lead on the 83 car.
He sure does. And
Here's
now
the
we
white
got
flag.
the white flag, the
Heavens
last
to Betsy,
lap.
Sue. Oh, heavens to Betsy.
Can he hang on?
I think I'm going to jump out of my skin if he wins. Oh, mercy, Sue. He's got a good commanding lead, almost a second and a half.
He sure does. He can take his time, take it easy,
He's
coming
gotta
into
take it
turn
nice
3
and
and
easy
4.
here, Michael Rector. Take it nice and easy. You need this. Get yourself in there, Michael. Come on, Michael. Come on, Michael. Oh, heavens. Oh, he did it. Oh, he did it. He did it. There's Sue.
He sure did.
He did it.
He qualified himself for the showdown for the championship
heavens,
race.
Sue, he did it.
Now here we had a caution.
Oh, mercy.
This was on the last lap there in turn
That cost
4.
Bryson, too, there, Sue. He was in.
He was running 15th at the time.
Oh, heavens. Sue,
When that
that's not good
happened.
for him.
It's not going to be, no.
Hopefully he had enough points going into that, but
Let's
Man,
see
it
where he
cost him.
finishes up here. He's going to come around. He is going to finish the race.
well, that's good.
He's going to be in 28th.
But that Michael Rector, I can't believe it, Sue.
There he is. Everybody else already went into the pits. And he's out there taking his victory lap.
Oh, you take it, Michael. You earned it, Michael. Way to go. I know everybody was rooting for you today. You've got yourself back in.
So he will be in the championship running on our last race of the season. With that, we hope you enjoyed this race. We're going to go now to the post-race show with Nathaniel Scott. And he'll break down the points, who's in and who's out for next week. Join us next week, Tuesday at 7, right here on the Rectified Automotive Circuit Entertainment Racing League.
That'll do, Sue. That'll do.
Good evening and welcome to the Racer League post-race show. I am your host, Nathaniel Scott, and what a week it was this week for the Racer League. The number 72 of Michael Rector got the win, and last week he was eliminated from the showdown, but this week with the win he now has qualified himself to be able to race week 15 for the championship at Coca-Cola. Yeah, the hope was not lost for Michael Rector. The top 10 finishing results were the number 83 of Renee Rector in second. In third, we had last week's winner, the number 91 of Aunt Christie. In fourth, we had the number 52 of Eric Rector. In fifth, the aggressive driving of the number 47, John Jackson. And in sixth, we had the number 17 of Christy Rector, who has been dominant all season. In seventh, we have the number 84 of Kaylee Banks, who started back in 26th, so some great results there. In eighth, we had the number 33 of Laura Ellison. Nice to see her in the top 10. In ninth, we had the number 13 of Nathan Rector. And rounding out the top 10, we had the number 92 of Kim Jackson. That top 10 was a little too late for her, as she was eliminated last week. Now let's go over the drivers who have been eliminated so far. Again, we have the number 48 of Madison Grace and the number 92 of Kim Jackson all last week. The number 72 of Michael Rector was eliminated, but again, with the win tonight, has qualified himself for the championship race. But the three drivers that are now eliminated from the showdown. First off, we have the number 41 of Erin Nelson. She finished 22nd in today's race. Second driver to be eliminated. Week 3 winner, number 49 of Rod Ellison. He finished 23rd in today's race. Drivers now that are on the bubble to be eliminated next week. We have the number 2 of Bryson Birchfield, the number 32 of Eddie Phillips, and the number 9 of Denise Rector. The final driver eliminated this week from the Showdown will be revealed after this break.
Racer League is brought to you by this long pause.
Well, welcome back to the Racer League post-race show. I am your host, Nathaniel Scott. We know the drivers now on the bubble, those that have been eliminated so far. But the final driver eliminated from the Showdown this week, the number 57 of Scott Rector. He did have 2 wins during the regular season. However, he finished 22nd last week and 20th this week. Not strong enough to stay in the Showdown. But the competition is only going to get harder. Next week, 3 more drivers will be eliminated from the Showdown, and we will go from 9 to 6 drivers. The heat is on for the drivers to stay inside the Auto Racing National Ultimate Showdown. Again, I am your host, Nathaniel Scott, and I will see you next week.
Racer League is brought to you by Ben Sound, and images were provided by Google. Don't forget to like or comment below on what you think of Racer League, and throw a heart in.